Hey guys, I just wanted to hop on here and I'm going to walk around a little bit. I just basically wanted to hop on here because I know a lot of people need to hear this story, and just know that whatever you're going through right now, that Jesus is working in your life. The story I'm about to tell is very hard for me to tell, and it just basically came to light, or came to head to me today, and I just wanted to share how amazing God's grace is. Okay, so that's basically the reason why I'm doing this video, is to get the word out there about Jesus and my mission that I started. I'm not really going to go into my mission right now. You guys can watch my other videos. But I'm just going to tell you about my story a little bit. And, I know I'm probably going to have some haters on here for a little while, but that's okay. That's just another stepping stone to where I need to be in my relationship with Jesus Christ. So, that's just a blessing for me. But here we go. 9 years ago, I basically was 2 years away from a domestic violence situation, and I found myself at a place where I could start letting people in again. And I reached out to my ex-fiance, the guy before I met my daughter's father, and basically what happened was I started reaching out to him 9 years ago. Like I said, 2 years from leaving the domestic violence situation. My daughter was 2 years old, and I found myself, the reason why I was looking for him, my ex-fiance, was basically to get a paternity test, okay guys? And so I had to reach out to him and have that done. And I kind of knew that who her father was, but I just wanted to make sure, because the time frame of me of us calling off our wedding and everything was pretty much close of the time that me and her father, dad, whatever you want to call it, got together too. So and no, I did not cheat on my fiance. That's not where I'm going with this. Basically, so that was 9 years ago. I had to reach out to him, and he basically said, okay, well, let's get the test done, and if she's mine, I'll invite you and your daughter back, you and my daughter back in my life. And so I was gung-ho. At that time, I thought, this guy is who I really want to be with. This guy knows how to treat a woman right. He had to show me. He showed me what love was. And so I thought. And basically, he told me, well, let's meet at the Waffle House in this town. Now, I'm not going to say the town because I don't really feel comfortable sharing where I live on YouTube, but basically he said, well, let's meet in this town. And I had never heard of this town before, never heard of it. He lived way down in Kentucky, I lived way down in Indiana, and we were meeting in the middle. And basically we met up and we ate at a Waffle House, and we had the DNA test done. Obviously not in the same, we didn't do it in the restaurant, obviously, but, two separate places. But anyway, so fast forward 2 weeks, the DNA people call me, paternity test people call me, and they're like, hey, we just wanted to let you know that he's not the father. And I basically felt devastated. I fell to pieces right there in that very moment. And I basically knew, or thought I knew, that my daughter wasn't going to have a father in her life. She wasn't going to have, father-daughter dances and all that good stuff, so I thought, right? And so the guy that, my ex-fiance, I called him and told him, and he said, okay, well, I don't want to have nothing to do with you or your daughter, and I have to say goodbye now. And I was very devastated for several years, 4 years, guys. I was devastated. I went through depression. I'm schizophrenic, so I had a lot of paranoia about the abuse that I went through being with my daughter's father. A lot of that emotional warfare, I guess that you would say, and so here's the blessing. I'm getting to the end of the story. I'm sorry, this is a long video, but it's kind of a long story. But it's a good story. It's going to end with a happy ending. And so basically, guys, I found myself today sitting at that same Waffle House 9 years ago. 9 years ago, I was at that Waffle House, and my life basically took a turn for the worst, or so I thought. And fast forward 9 years, me and my husband, my current husband that I met, lives in that same town. He was born and raised in that town that I had never heard of 9 years ago. And we got married last year. And he's, supports me. He loves my daughter, and I couldn't ask for a better person. But what I'm trying to say is, that God closes doors in your life, and He brings, I want to say God's angels, okay? He brings God's angels into your life for, certain periods of time in your life. And, when God closed that door for me and my daughter for a very good man to enter our lives, 9 years ago, He had something better in mind. He had my husband in mind. And, He had my soulmate in mind. And, Lily, my daughter, now has a stepfather. And sometimes, I'm very thankful for her. I'm very thankful that she has a father now. And so yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys that, because I feel like, there's a lot of hurting people in this world, and and it doesn't matter what you've done in your past, okay? I've been there. I've probably done it. I've probably done worse than some of you guys. And you guys are just moping around like, oh my gosh, my life is so miserable. My life is so bad. And I'm so bad. And I'm so worthless. And I can't do this. I can't do that. No. You know what? You haven't yet learned how to. It's not that you can't. It's that you haven't yet learned. You haven't learned to hold on to God's grace. And you know what? If you start counting your blessings, wake up every day and just start counting your blessings, God will show you amazing blessings. And So anyway, I'm just gonna leave it as that. I hope I hope my story touches people, and I hope that, people can relate to this. I kind of just wanted to hop on here and tell my story because, that came to me today that, 9 years ago I was sitting at that Waffle House and my world came crashing down, and 9 years later I'm sitting there with my husband and we're talking about God's grace in this Waffle House. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. 9 years later, me and my husband are talking about God's grace in the same Waffle House where I thought my life ended and my daughter's life ended, but it didn't. So, you guys take care.